What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to cover the thoughts on Season 2 and if it's good / should you buy the game now. I get this question all the time in stream. Everyone's asking, hey, is the game worth it now? Should I buy it now? It's on sale. Should I get it? This and that. So I'm here to tell you that, unfortunately, the gameplay is still the same. The performance has not changed, and we have new bugs. So the three main things that I kind of want to cover today are how the playstyle is on the new map / current metas, the content, and how it was pretty much pushed out and felt rushed, and the weapon ported over from Portal were just almost non-existent work / corpsmanship, and then the new glitches and bugs that I've seen, as we can see in this clip. So, kind of chalking down, let's start with the first main topic here. The meta and the playstyle that most players are running right now, okay? So, Pake got nerfed pretty hard recently, which is good. However, we still have a bunch of Pakes running around. It's not just half the team. It's maybe, you know, 4 to 8 of them on the other team giving you your location revealed. So it's still got the PTSD trigger of location revealed when you're trying to sit in a corner and heal up, and you know, it's the old Apex meme where you're healing or picking up your down teammate and Bloodhound scans the building and you all panic, right? So that's kind of the mentality that I get every time I'm trying to hide in a corner and reset. So that's still a thing. The route bug that I talked to in the last video is a weird problem. That's technically a bug, but 3D spotting in general in a shooter is not something that should be in the game at all. And we can go down the rabbit hole all day of why Battlefield shouldn't have been a hero shooter to begin with. We've always been a no-face ID player, just kind of on the battlefield doing our country's dirty work type deal, right? So the fact that we have faces and all these gadgets and abilities is kind of a little step off in the wrong direction for a Battlefield title, but you know, as long as we get to our class restrictions here in the next season, it should somewhat be better for gameplay overall. That's really the biggest issue with the meta for the specialists. Now for the weapons, I've already kind of covered this as well, but the LVG on the M16 is extremely busted. It doesn't register. The CRAM, apparently from what I've been seeing from my other buddies and everyone else who plays vehicles, is pretty busted too. The fact that it's got AGMs and AA on it is kind of crazy. Also, there's black pods on it, not to mention it has an APS. I did see today that they are looking to put APSs on old transports and armor, so like the MAV and the tanks. Don't know when that's going to happen, but it is in finally discussion talk stage. So hopefully that happens, because armor just kind of gets bullied right now. But I mean, I've been playing nothing but stranded infantry only breakthrough anyways, so that's what I prefer. I prefer infantry only. That's what I like doing. Yes, I have like 40,000 kills in the stealth chopper, but at the end of the day, I want to play infantry only. All right, moving on to the content and how everything kind of just felt like it got rushed over, man. So like lack of content, right? That's ultimately what this is. It's one map, right? And we're only going to continue to get one map. And I think the biggest reason for this is because the original maps are so bad at launch, and they're so big, and the lack of cover in the open space and the flow that just doesn't make sense, and kind of how everything just doesn't really seem like you're on a battlefield, right? Everything kind of looks clean, nothing's been damaged, things don't really fall as they should, you know, like the skyscrapers on Kaleidoscope and Hourglass don't fall over, you know, all those things. So that's kind of where the big issue is, I think, is everyone is kind of focused on reworking the old maps, and so they don't have time to make more than one map. That's kind of where I think it's coming from, aside from probably not as many people working on the game as they're claiming. And if they are, that's a disgrace. Sorry, it's a shame. The amount of work to product effort that I've seen in this season, specifically with the Portal weapons and how it was. I'm not a huge fan of cosmetics, right? If they're cool, I'll get them, but like, you know, if I grind for something to get a tier 1 or get the skin or whatever, like, you want to be rewarded with something, right? Which is that skin, which you don't get. You get a badge, which is cool, I suppose. I mean, that's something that I grinded for and got, but a lot of people want the skin, and we don't get it. Not only that, they didn't even add the 2042 attachments to the weapons, let alone an extended mag in the M16, so I have 30 rounds. So, I mean, you better hit your shots. Which, by the way, the recoil doesn't match to the assault rifle pattern. It's an LMG pattern. So a lot of people are struggling with it. So it's just lack of work, man, or it's just laziness. I don't know. So, some people say like, oh yeah, there's people working there that just don't know what they're doing. I really don't know, and I don't have the answer. I'm not a game designer. I'm a flyer, okay? I work for the government. I have no idea how game designing works, but I just feel like if I was putting out this kind of work product at my job, I wouldn't have wings. That's just how I feel about it. So, anyways, the last kind of topic I want to cover here is the bugs and the glitches, right? So some of the things from Season 1 are still in Season 2. The mannequins that disappeared came back. I haven't seen any floating faces, as funny as they are. That's a good thing that they're gone. I'm seeing a lot of, like, destruction of extra crates floating in the sky, or like a giant skyscraper parked in front of me that just cuts off half my screen. I've seen that in Kaleidoscope. I've seen that in Stranded. I've seen floating crates on Stranded. I've seen another ship floating in the air on Stranded. The bug that you saw earlier with the PF51, just the recoil bug, it's hilarious, but the fact that it happens as often as it does is kind of a problem, because I like running the gun as my sidearm, because you guys know that I like to snipe, aggressive snipe. So if I have to switch to my sidearm and I've got this, my screen is shaking like I'm playing Rainbow Six aggressively peeking a corner, it doesn't really help, as funny as it is. So other bugs that I've kind of seen, people are either just getting yeeted 50 feet into the air. Like, the ragdoll animation, sometimes it's funny, but like, I'm not sure what is causing that mechanic, because half of the time, if you get launched too high in the air, your body just insta-dies, okay? So there's no chance for you to get revived, even if you get, like, thrown still inbound onto another part of the map where your team might be. There's no chance. The other thing is, if you fall too far, you insta-die, which I kind of agree with, I suppose. Another big one, specifically on exposure in the middle hallway. If you die in that middle hallway to an explosive, you just insta-die. There's no chance for you to get revived. So, those kind of bugs I've seen that are still around, and it almost kind of feels, again, that they're more focused on fixing the Season 1 map rework than they are with actually patching the game. Now, the actual patch notes, right? Biggest bug is all the new weapons got ported over, did not have the correct headshot multiplier. It's the last thing I'm going to cover. LMG, so the Avon, the AM40, and the PF51 all do 1.25 headshot to the head, okay? That's all SMG multiplier. The M16 is on the old 2 times headshot model. That's why it is not doing enough damage to 2-tap somebody. If you land 2 headshots, it'll do 96, not 102. So that's an issue. It needs to be 2.15 to match the other ARs, because the rate of fire is there to compete with the AK. The M5 should still win up close, right? And even the SCAR, right? It shoots faster than the SCAR. So if I land 2 headshots with the M16 within that 20-meter threshold, I should win that gunfight instantly. But, you know, here we are. And then the M60, as slow as it is the only one that came out with the correct multiplier, and the recoil makes sense for the gun, right? It's a heavy hitting 7.62 by 51 chambered HMG technically, so it does the correct rate of fire, the correct recoil. Now, I don't think the damage is there. It doesn't compete with any of the LMGs and any of the ARs at all. It is the weakest primary weapon in the game, in my opinion. So, because the rate of fire in this game is a law. If you want to win fights, rate of fire. Okay, more bullets you can put out on a 45-tick server is going to have a better chance for your bullets to register, and you win the gunfight. That has always been a thing. Rate of fire has always kind of been seen over time to kill by bullets, right? So bullet to kill. So, like, in BF4, the SCAR and the Bulldog were really good because it was a 3 bullet to kill. It's a 3 BTK. Everyone was still running the ACE and the AEK and the FAMAS and the ACWR because rate of fire, okay? So the fact that this M60 has a 550 rate of fire and only does 28 to the body is not enough. I think it needs to do at least 30 to 31. I even mentioned at one point that it should do 65 to the head, and after thinking about it, I was like, man, that's pretty hefty. Now, it would make sense because it's a higher caliber than the SCAR. And the SCAR does 60 to the head, right? So why can't the M60 do 60 to the head? At a minimum, right? So 65 wouldn't be totally out of the realm of possibility and I guess more realism to the gun itself to make sense in the game. Now, don't twist my quote there. The game is an arcade hero shooter, okay? But The gun needs to match the meta and actually have a place and not just kind of get overshadowed, which both the M16 and the M16 are gonna get overshadowed. And I've already talked to Max about this, and it's kind of been, we kind of figured that this was done on purpose because everyone wants to use the new weapons that they put out in All Out Warfare, right? So the Avon, the M40, and the PF. So I think this was kind of done on purpose a little bit, but at the same time, not having the skins for them or even attachments for that matter is just pitiful. Okay guys, that's all I got for y'all. If you liked the video, leave a comment. If you have any other questions or comments, please by all means leave a comment in the section below. If you have any other questions or anything else you want to see, let me know and I'll work on them. Somebody asked for a full gameplay of Stranded, so I'm working on getting a really good clip and of a full gameplay, and I'll post that when I can, hopefully by this weekend. And then working on some other videos later this weekend since I have a lot of free time since I don't go back to work until Tuesday. So until then, guys, I'll catch you in the next one.